What is going on, guys? Welcome back to W.D.Y.D. CSP. What do you do as a central stove processor? We're going back to basic, guys, and we're going in decontamination, and we're talking about instrument trays that have, I don't want to say delicate instruments, but sensitive instruments, and we're protecting it with a silicone mat. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love the concept of silicone mats, especially when it comes to laparoscopic or insulated instruments, or very delicate eye instruments. Okay, the mat it serves as a cushion. Okay, it holds the instrument in place so it's not moving all over the place, and it prevents that stacking on top of each other or having metal instruments by itself. In all honesty, I believe that insulated instruments should be separated from their stainless steel counterparts. They shouldn't even be in the same tray. They should actually be in a separate tray by themselves to preserve the life of the insulation, right? But here it is. It's in decontamination. Let's say it's been pre-treated. It's sent down in the tray. Of course, it's not going to be nice and neat like that. It's going to be stacked all over the place like so. Okay, what do we do to process this instrument? Well, guys, we want to remove our instrumentation. We have our 3-sink setup, your rinse, your soak, and your final rinse. You want to remove your instrumentation out of your basket, okay? And you want to remove the silicone mat from your basket. You want to give this a thorough rinse, very good. Make sure that there's no bioburden on there, no suture, anything on there. Give it a really good rinse. Place it in your soak water and do the same thing with your basket. Rinse your basket very well. Inspect it for any bioburden, and this tray goes into the soak water. Okay? Your instrumentation, okay, you give it a really good rinse, okay, because these are cauterizing or bipolar forceps, okay, you want to make sure that you use a soft bristle brush on the distal tip to get rid of any charred tissue on there if you can. If you cannot remove it with a soft bristle brush during a rinse, this is where your soaking takes place, right? So you want to go ahead and place your instruments in your basket. Okay, give this a good brushing. If you can remove the soil, that's great. If you can't, okay, wait for the soak. This has a flush port, guys, so you want to get some rinse water. You want to go ahead and draw up some clear water, and you want to go ahead and irrigate that, right? Okay, see if there's any soil that comes out of it, or if you can even flush it. If it's stuck in there and you can't flush this for some reason, that means that this is jammed up with soil, right? Again, this is where your soaking takes place. Last instrument, you want to do the exact same thing. Nice brushing to remove any visible gross soil. Allow your soaking. Soak your instruments for the allotted time specified by the IFU of the instrumentation or of the detergent. Once your instrument is done soaking, then it goes on to the next process. Now, here is where I'll become controversial. I am not a fan of placing insulated instrumentation into a sonicator. Okay, sonication will loosen up the insulation from your instrument. I've seen it so many times. This is in there, this is vibrating. It will cause micro tears in your insulation, guys. Okay, especially if it's metal on metal. Okay, and I'm just not a big fan of it. I just don't believe that insulated instruments should go into sonic. Okay, can it go into the washer? Yes, it should go into the washer. Okay, but I also don't believe that it should go into a washer in a tray such as this where it can move around. That rubbing action on the metal is going to cause some damage. The other thing I do not recommend is that you place the silicone mat back in the tray. This causes shadowing between the tray and the actual silicone mat. Any debris that's trapped between the mat and the actual tray will not get washed. Now, you can turn the mat upside down, and I do recommend that you place the mat, if you have a lid or another basket, is place the mat upside down in the lid so that it's in a raised position so that any impingement will hit the bottom of this tray and clean this mat effectively, right? No instruments on top to weigh it down. Just leave it on top such as that. As far as the instrument tray, it should be a tray that is validated to be used in the washer to hold these forceps in place without causing any shadowing. So if it's a silicone mat or a silicone holder, I really don't recommend that. If it is a plastic type coated holder, that would be best to hold this loosely in place so that it doesn't rub metal on metal when it goes in the washer. And this is just my opinion, guys. It's just my way of thinking and preserving insulated instrumentation when it goes into the washer. Okay, if you choose to place this in the Sonic, as many IFUs of insulated instruments do state, place it in a Sonic. I'm going to tell you that you're going to wear your insulated instruments down faster than what you would normally do if you do not do that. This is just how I've seen it done, or I have experienced it. Insulated instruments that go in there will have seal issues at the end. There'll be micro holes and tears in the insulation. Some of them loosen up when you go into the Sonic, so you'll be able to pull that insulation down off of that. It's just, it's just the nature of the beast, okay? So this is the decontamination process, okay? Separate your mats from your baskets, okay? Placing your mats inside of your baskets with your instruments still on top is not acceptable to place through the washers, okay? It is against the standards. It is against the IFUs of the instrument tray and the mat itself. Mats should be separated and kept together with the tray. So if you're putting it on the rack, guys, place the lid, the container with the instrumentation in it, right? And the mat right next to it, okay? If you have a separate basket, or even if you have the lid, this is a perforated bottom. It'll do great when it does the cleaning action because you got the perforation, there's no shadowing. You'll get effective cleaning of your tray and your mat all in one shot. So you know that this lid and this tray and this silicone mat goes to this tray. You can even put your silicone mat on your count sheet so that when you're looking at your instrument count sheet, okay, it accounts for all your instrumentation and you say, oh, this basket takes a silicone mat. Let me go look for it if it's not placed with a tray. All right, guys, as always, stay true to yourselves. Keep it 100. Continue educating yourself. And until next time, peace.